hello, could you introduce yourself? And also, would you say that English is your favorite subject to teach? And would you like to teach any others?
Yeah, my name is Mr. J. I teach at Heartland High School. It's my 4th year here. English is definitely one of my favorite subjects. I majored in both English and history, but mostly with the focus being on English. So the history portion was more so to better understand the context of stories and narratives, even some historical pieces as well. So I chose English because, one, I really enjoy stories. I think stories are a fundamental sort of component of human nature. We need to tell stories in order to identify not only who we are, but who we have been. So not only in the way that we catalog stories or read them and analyze them for their content and how they put forward their message, but also just looking at stories as a collective whole is really interesting and unique to me to not only better understand critical thinking, how humans understand one another, but also to better understand, just how it can be done. English is largely an escape. You read a book just as much as you would watch a video to take yourself out of it for a second. So I really enjoy the additional layer that English studies add on to that. Just another layer of thinking that I think is really interesting to share with people around me. So especially students or those who are just willing to listen.
Was becoming a teacher a dream of yours since you were a kid?
I wouldn't say necessarily since I was a kid, but teaching has always been a passion of mine. I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do with my career until I entered college, but it was definitely a lot of build-up along the way that led me to that decision. So for example, when I was in middle school, I was in a program called Peer Mediators, which I think some people would be familiar with. Then in high school, I was part of a writing conference team where kids would come in and they would get help from students with their work. I was also a snowboard instructor, so everything that I sort of did along the way just kind of contributed to the teaching goal. I was a camp counselor, so by the time I got to college, it just seemed like the natural progression of my career. But there's also the teachers along the way that inspire you to do the things that you do, or just even the influential people in your life. And I had some really strong teachers growing up, so they were definitely role models and examples for me for what I could be in the future, which helped me to, again, just reach a little bit higher for those goals.
What do you say is your biggest motivator at the end of the day?
Bills, definitely. Gotta pay those bills somehow. So
of course.
My real biggest motivator is probably just creativity. So one thing my fiance said to me is like, we create or we die. So teaching in a lot of ways is my creative outlet. So what motivates me to become better is to better my craft, to make sure that students understand it better, or the way that I present it is a little bit better, or the way that I even conference with students individually is a little bit better. So my biggest motivator is becoming better at what I do because I love it. And in order to be the most creative person that I can be, or the most effective teacher I can be, I need to keep that motivation going, so everything changes from here to there, and yeah, I think that's about it there.